Hey everybody. So I want to talk about the Edmonton Oilers because Edmonton is off to a 5-0 start to start this season. And boy, I did not see this coming. Before we get into the video, I just quickly want to remind everyone to please hit that like button and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. That really helps out the channel a lot. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and follow along for all my hockey content this season. So Edmonton, 5-0, 22 goals for, only 13 against, 2-0 at home, 3-0 on the road. Just a great start to the season for the Edmonton Oilers. And this, honestly, was a team that I didn't think was going to be any better than they were last year. I thought this team was going to be a pile of crap like they were last season. And I did not see this coming at all. They're currently first place in the Pacific Division. They got 10 points already. And it's been as good of a start as you could possibly have for the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid, obviously McJesus, the best player in the NHL, is leading the way. 12 points in 5 games. 12 points in 5 games for Connor McDavid. 4 goals, 8 assists already, averaging 2.4 points per game. Obviously, that rate is not going to keep up all season long. God, that would put him somewhere near 200 points on the season. That's obviously not going to keep up. But wow, what a start for McDavid. And Leon Draisaitl as well is right behind him with 11 points. 4 goals, 7 assists for Leon Draisaitl. He's having a great start to the year as well. And Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl playing together have become probably the best, 1-2 line mates in the NHL, without a doubt. The point production from those two are just, it's absolutely unreal. It's unreal, and it's awesome to watch. And they're such dynamic players. They're so much fun to watch. And, I haven't seen an Oilers game yet, but I've watched highlights. And McDavid and Draisaitl, the highlights of them playing together is just, they're unreal. And they're so skilled, so fast, and so good with the puck. And they've developed great chemistry as well. So McDavid and Draisaitl are lighting it up just like they did last season, where they both finished the year with over 100 points. I think it's not even a possibility. I think it's a probability that both of them score over 100 points again this season, unless one of them obviously gets injured and misses significant time. But assuming they're both healthy for the full season or only miss 1 or 2 games here or there, I think both of them go over 100 points again this season, and they're sure as hell off to a good start with double-digit points through their first 5 games. James Neal, obviously another guy to talk about, 7 goals already, most of them on the power play. 5 of those 7 goals have been on the power play. So he's not playing with Connor McDavid 5-on-5, but he's playing on the power play unit with Connor McDavid, and McDavid is feeding James Neal, lighting it up, who's lighting it up with 5 power play goals already and 7 total. So I believe he still leads the league in goals, because Austin Matthews had 6, and he hasn't played since the last time I checked. So, believe Neal still leads the league in goals right now, which is just unbelievable from where he was last year, scoring 7 goals all of last season versus where he is now, with 7 goals in the first 5 games this season. Then Zach Kassian, who's been playing on the right wing with McDavid and Draisaitl, has 3 goals and 5 points already. So Zach Kassian, who I think of as more of a tough guy, power forward, he always had offensive ability, and he could always play. It wasn't like he was a goon or a pure fighter, but he could always play. But he never really got it going offensively very much at the NHL level, and kind of fell back into that more of a third, fourth line checker / fighter role. Kassian now is up on the first line with McDavid, and he's got 5 points in 5 games. He's become a point-per-game player, at least so far. I don't think that keeps up all season, obviously, but he's been a point-per-game player so far with this year with Edmonton playing in the top 6 on the first line. So Kassian's having a great start to the year. Oscar Klefbom on the back end, he's an important player for Edmonton. When he's healthy, and that's been an issue over the years, when he's healthy, he's a very good offensive defenseman. And he's got 7 points in 5 games for the Oilers. Health has been the issue with him as he has struggled to stay healthy for long periods of time. Edmonton needs him to be a good team. If they lose Clefbaum for, a significant time again with like a 6 to 8 week injury, that puts a huge, huge hole on their blue line that often they can't overcome. And they already have Adam Larson out with a significant injury. So they need Clefbaum to stay healthy. Darnell Nurse is off to a good start with 5 points in 5 games on the back end. This team overall is yes, they're a top-heavy team. There's no doubt they're a top-heavy team. They rely a lot on Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and their other top 6 players. They rely heavily on their top defense pair. They're a top-heavy team for sure. But they're off to a really good start. They haven't lost yet, and they're playing pretty darn good hockey, and that is not what I expected to start this year for the Oilers. I thought they were going to be a bottom team like they were last season, and that so far has not been the case. Another thing I want to touch on is goaltending, because goaltending is one of the major issues I had with this team going into it. Did not trust the combination of Mike Smith and Mikko Koskinen. Well, they've been pretty darn good. Mikko Koskinen is 2-0. with a .914 save percentage. That is very, very good. And a 2.41 goals against average. Absolutely nothing wrong there. And Mike Smith is 3-0 with a .907 save percentage and a 2.67 goals against average. So nothing really wrong there either. They're both, undefeated. They're splitting starts, basically. Smith has 3 starts. Koskinen has 2. They've got a decent 1-2 punch so far at goal, and both guys are playing pretty well. Especially Koskinen is playing very well. That .914 save percentage is pretty impressive. Your top goalies in the league have save percentages around .914. So overall, it's been a very, very good start for the Edmonton Oilers. Now, does it keep up? Do they do that all season? Or is this just a really good start? Well, that remains to be seen. And I have to say, I don't think they're going to play at this level all season long. Are they good enough to maybe sneak into a playoff spot? Possibly. If things go right, possibly. But I think at some point we are going to see some pullback from this Oilers team, because I don't think McDavid and Draisaitl, all of them, can keep up this level of production all season long. So I do think they fall back a little bit at some point, but it's really, really good to see them off to the start that they are. It's been a great, great start, and this is setting them up well for down the road because they're collecting a lot of points early. If you look at the road ahead for the Oilers, the rest of their month of October, they're at Chicago tonight. Then they're at home versus Philadelphia, at home versus Detroit. Then they go to Winnipeg, to Minnesota, then back home for a game against Washington. Then they're home versus Florida, and then they finish out on the road at Detroit and at Columbus. That's the rest of their month of October. That's not a terribly hard schedule there. Now, it's certainly no cakewalk, and there's no such thing as a cakewalk schedule in the NHL. Anyone can beat anyone. We all know that if you follow the league. However, that certainly is not a brutal stretch by any stretch of the imagination. That's not a overly difficult schedule. They've got a lot of winnable games in there. You could easily see the Oilers finishing the month of October with 10-plus wins already in the win column. They've already got 5. They certainly could win 5 of their remaining games. This is a team that could have 10-plus wins by the end of the first month of the season, and maybe only 1 or 2 regulation losses is a very real possibility. 2 or 3, I think, is more likely, but even only having 1 is a possibility. Maybe they lose to Philadelphia. Maybe they lose to Washington. The rest of these games are very winnable if you're the Edmonton Oilers. So, this has potential to be a great, great month. They're already off to a really good start. And you certainly can't win. You don't become a playoff team in October. You have to you have to play the full season, but getting off to a good start certainly helps along the way in trying to get to the playoffs, especially if you're a team like Edmonton who really wasn't expected to make the playoffs this year. A start like this can be really, really good and give you, confidence and a jump start for your entire season. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't think they're going to keep up this level of play all season long. I don't think they're a playoff team. But this would not be the first team to make me look foolish on this channel. And I do think that the potential is there just because of the talent that they could end up surprising me and a lot of other people. I wouldn't bet on it, but it's certainly a possibility. But there's no doubt, absolutely no doubt, that they're off to a tremendous start and that this tremendous start could very easily go the entire month of October, looking at their schedule coming up with some very winnable games. So we'll see what Edmonton looks like, over the course of the full season, but it sure as hell been a great start. And I'm sure that their fans are very, very happy. I'm sure that the team's very, very happy. And let me tell you, you start building confidence. You start thinking, hey, maybe we're a lot better than people think. Maybe we are a good team. And then you could really take off from there. And this team could be one of the bigger surprises of this season. But it's a little early to be saying that or to tell that. But great start so far. We'll see if it continues. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.